Hi, I just want to share a little message about mindset and about how the switch from being an employee to controlling your own destiny can present a few challenges. So, a little about me. At the end of 2004, I completed 22 years in the British military. Now, my whole adult life I'd been an employee, my parents were employees, and my only concept about not being an employee was the self-employed builders back home in Northern England. These guys worked on a building site all day and then hand wrote quotes and other paperwork overnight. So they put in quite a lot of hours. Now, since I left the military, I've dipped my toe back in the employee world a few times, but either on the side or full time, I've also had multiple ventures, including trading Forex, trading stock options, futures, CFDs, business coach, affiliate marketing, Amazon seller. That's just named a few. You'll be pleased to know that some of these ventures are actually still going, and so I'm not destitute. Um, I've wrestled with the self-employed mindset over these years, and I just thought I'd share a little because when we first make that switch from employee, we feel that we have to do everything ourselves. And whether you've got plenty of savings before you take the plunge or you're in a limited budget, the issues tend to be the same. And I do understand that cash flow is king and you have to balance what you do and what you outsource. But I just want to plant the seeds in your psyche at the moment. So I'll just tell you a little about something that happened recently. So recently I helped a couple of friends set up their own Amazon FBA business. After 8 months, they both quit their jobs as they are now making more than double their previous wages. They have a young child and they are going amazingly well. Their business is flourishing. Now, although the couple are half my age, they are still coming to terms with the same issues of mindset that I had to, and I still have to. They had only known an employee background and mentality. And one of the initial problems was her husband, after quitting his job, had all this free time and he wanted to do everything himself. You know, he wanted to build his website, he wanted to build a social media presence, you name it. His self-employed mentality was that no one would be as passionate about his business, and a lot of us feel that, you know, we're working on our passion and we feel, you know, we're the only ones who can be as passionate, so if we give anything away to everybody else, they won't do it as well. So we'd had several discussions up this point anyway, but one of the questions, you know, was why did he want to build the business in the first place? You know, and like most of us, he wanted more time with his family and more freedom to do what he wanted. So I raised the issue that the plans he had in mind of doing everything and learning everything, he'd be working a lot more hours than he was in his previous employee job, and he would spend less time with his family. So I thought, you know, to bring it home, I just focused on one area to highlight this mindset failing of doing everything. We talked about the fact that his skill set in social media was limited. And a virtual assistant would be a lot more qualified than him. So why wouldn't he utilize someone's skill set for a small fee? He was still convinced that outsourcing anything wasn't the way ahead. So I just pointed out a few things. Because he was using Amazon FBA for his business, he was already outsourcing all sorts. He was outsourcing his warehousing and distribution to Amazon. He had actually used a virtual assistant previously to edit images. It was somebody I'd found at Upwork. And also, even for his sales tax, he was actually using a company in the States, because we live in New Zealand, to do the returns. So I just wanted to raise this point, because I've wrestled over the last 10 years or so. And I wanted to do most tasks myself, especially when cash flow was tight. There's got to be some imbalance. I know when you first start out, you know, you try to build a business while working sometimes, and your employee is another job. But you just got to remember, you don't have to do everything yourselves. There's communities out there, whether in Facebook groups or other people you know, that can help with their knowledge alone. There's virtual assistants overseas who are so more qualified in areas that you aren't. They've got more experience, and you know, just like any trade, that they've actually done the hard yards to get that trade. Why would you expect to be as qualified in such a short time? I'm not saying you can't do the task yourself, but sometimes you've just got to weigh up the efficiency of doing it all. So you may have various ventures that you're working on, but each one, just think of it as an income stream for your business. it's very easy at the start to think everything as I instead of my business. And so one of the tricks I use is if someone asks me what I do, I say something like, my business, not me, my business imports from China and sells in America on Amazon. Treating your business as an entity, and I know that you might not turn it into a legal entity. There might only be you with your computer. That's your business. But it's easier to think about outsourcing tasks as if you were in a business, because the business is outsourcing the task, not just you. Now, there's lots of resources out there for mindset, and the likes of Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar, and there's so many things about selling and mindset. So I'm not going to list loads and stuff here. And there's loads of things and resources for outsourcing. There's virtual assistants on Upwork and Fiverr and so much. But the main point of this recording was just to highlight a common problem people have when they're setting up their own business, and let you know that you're not alone. This is a common problem that we undertake, and it's just one of those things. And don't worry, it'll get there.